In ancient Greece, experiencing menstruation was not only a natural part of women's lives, but also a subject filled with prejudice, misunderstanding, and a lack of conveniences. Imagine living in Athens over 2,000 years ago, when every aspect of life was influenced by religion, tradition, and a lack of understanding of human body science. Having menstruation at that time was not just a personal matter, but also associated with notions of purity, impurity, and strange superstitions. First, let's talk about hygiene products. In modern times, we have sanitary pads, tampons, menstrual cups with various shapes, materials, and conveniences. But in ancient Greece, women did not have many such options. There were no disposable sanitary pads, let alone safe tampons or silicone menstrual cups. Women at that time often had to use crude fabrics, sometimes just old pieces of cloth washed repeatedly, or even bundles of dry grass, wool, or rolled-up fabrics. These fabrics were not only inconvenient, but also extremely difficult to clean. Washing these pieces of cloth was also a challenge, because clean water was not easy to find, and the cleaning process was not hygienic as it is today. This caused the risk of infections, discomfort, and unpleasant odors to be a persistent nightmare lasting many days each month. In addition, social perceptions of menstruation in ancient Greece were also very strict. Women during their menstrual period were often considered unclean. Some records note that they were not allowed to participate in religious activities, touch sacred objects, or even approach the hearth, which was regarded as the center of the family and the soul of the home. It was believed that menstrual blood could spoil food, damage crops, and even cause fermented wine to turn sour. These prejudices made women feel ashamed, alienated, and even isolated during their special days. Moreover, medicine at that time understood menstruation as a strange and sometimes dangerous phenomenon. Hippocrates, known as the father of Western medicine, once wrote that menstruation was the way a woman's body expelled harmful toxins. Some doctors at that time believed that if women did not menstruate regularly, toxins would accumulate in the body and cause all kinds of illnesses, from headaches to mental disorders. This caused women with irregular menstruation to be considered abnormal and even suspected of having mental health issues. Besides physical barriers and social beliefs, ancient Greek women also faced a lack of information. There were no textbooks, no internet, no reproductive health classes. Knowledge about menstruation was passed down orally between generations of women, often as whispers and taboos rather than scientific explanations. For many girls, their first menstruation could be a frightening experience because they had no idea what was happening to their bodies. Sometimes, they even feared that they were seriously ill or being punished by the gods. It should also be remembered that in ancient Greece, the lives of women were generally much more restricted compared to men. They often married very young, sometimes as early as 12 or 13 years old, which meant facing menstruation and the responsibilities of motherhood almost simultaneously. The lack of hygiene during these days made life even more difficult, especially for those who had to do manual labor or work in wealthy households as slaves or servants. However, in those difficulties, ancient Greek women also had their own methods to cope. Some records show that they used herbs such as bay leaves, rosemary, or thyme to relieve pain or mask odors. They might use olive oil to soothe irritated skin or apply fragrant powders to the body. Although these measures cannot compare to modern products, they reflect the creativity and resilience of women throughout the ages. Finally, it is impossible not to mention the loneliness that many Greek women have to endure during their menstrual days. When they are forbidden from participating in community activities, not allowed to attend rituals, or must avoid male family members, they may feel marginalized, even if only for a few days each month. This isolation is not only physical but also psychological, making the days of menstruation a source of fear, hesitation, and anxiety. Looking back, it can be seen that having menstruation in ancient Greece was not only inconvenient, but also filled with prejudices, fears, and deprivation. It is a silent part of women's history, where the difficulties were not much recorded in official documents, but contributed to shaping the resilience and strength of women through generations. Although today such issues have gradually improved, the story of menstruation in ancient Greece still reminds us of a time when the simplest, most ordinary things could become great challenges for women. Thus, the experience of menstruation in ancient Greece was truly a significant challenge, not only due to the lack of sanitary products, but also because of strict social beliefs, medical ignorance, and psychological isolation. Although history may consider it a minor matter, for each woman at that time, it was a silent journey of overcoming difficult days, becoming more patient and stronger every day.